Let's stay with all of this for a moment and talk a little bit more about energy. We bring in former Governor Matt Blunt, Republican of Missouri, who's with us here in studio today, president of the American Automotive Policy Council. Thank you, Governor, for coming in. And I do want to talk about, well, automotive, the car shows here in New York this week. But first on this energy issue and the Keystone Pipeline, I don't know, we're joking around whether there's awkward moments at the White House today, but what do you make of this back and forth? It's a big economic issue as well, whether this thing should be approved.
Sure. I have pronounced personal views, but obviously we need more North American energy, and certainly hope that the President and Prime Minister can work together to do that. They can work together on important issues. Canada is one of our most important trading partners. There's actually an op-ed today by myself and my Canadian counterpart praising the President and the Prime Minister for their works to really smooth transit along the border and increase trade along the border. The automotive industry is highly integrated on both sides of the U.S.-Canada border. Often cars sold in North America will have parts that have crossed the border multiple times, and everything they can do to smooth trade is important. They've made a number of important commitments, and we want to ensure that they keep those. It's
so integrated in the automotive industry. If you go to General Motors headquarters and you just look out the window, you know, there's Canada
absolutely
right there. So now we've had some time to think about it and assess it, and I know a lot of people are going to be talking about it more this week. Even if you watch the NCAA tournament over the weekend, there was another Halftime in America commercial. I know that got a lot of attention at the Super Bowl. Auto bailout. We've come a long way, and you know, people weigh in with their grades. What would be yours?
Yeah, well, we have come a long way, and they're fundamentally different companies today. They're companies that are profitable, that want to thrive in the free marketplace, and they're doing that. They're regaining market share, and they're creating thousands of American jobs, and are committed to create tens of thousands of jobs in the auto sector over the next few years. I
would assume, though, before, maybe I'm wrong, before you took your current position, you wouldn't be a guy to say, hey, bailouts are a good idea, were you? Or?
Well, you know, there's no question that what's happened has worked. Now, there might have been other paths to achieve the same results, but what has happened, what Presidents Bush and Obama did in the auto sector has worked and has been successful, and the companies are thriving now as free enterprises that are focused on being profitable enterprises that create American jobs.
So when you hear somebody like Mitt Romney or the other Republican candidates attack it and say, hey, we would never have supported this, and, you know, we're not for bailouts, and we think they should have been allowed to go through bankruptcy without government funding, you say what?
Well, I think it's a debatable point whether there might have been another path to the sort of success the companies enjoy today. But I don't think you can debate with the fact that what Presidents Bush and Obama did work. The industry's thriving, and they're fundamentally different companies that have gone through the same sort of fundamental restructuring that everybody, from Mitt Romney to the President, believed needed to occur.
I'm sensing a little bit, I mean, and understandably, because of the position you're in, you don't want to commit. You don't want to say one way or the other, hey, this was a good idea or it wasn't. You know, it's a debatable point,
well,
that kind of thing.
I think what happened worked. There's no question that what happened worked, and that Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors are all three profitable companies today, and that the auto sector is of fundamental importance to the American economy. It's a big part of our gross domestic product. 8 million jobs in the auto sector just in the United States alone.
And their competitive position around the world, you would say, what about that?
Well, it's clearly growing. You know, the largest largest sector, at least in terms of exports, is in the automotive sector. Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors exported nearly 1 million cars last year alone.
So we're back.
We're definitely back. We're gaining market share. You're going to see a lot of exciting new models at the New York Auto Show just this week.
We'll cover a lot of that, and we thank you for coming in to start that off this week. Governor, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Former Governor of Missouri, Matt Blunt, with us.